Hello, and welcome back to week 2 of our current scene coloring breakdown series here on the Sweet November Stamps YouTube channel. I'm Amy, co-owner and illustrator of Sweet November Stamps, and last week we started a fantasy scene using one of our Dragon Trio stamps and the treasure chest from the Simple Room Pirate add-on set. And that's what we're going to be working on this week, is coloring up that chest, plus the little bits of treasure that I drew in freehand with a multiliner that are sprinkled around it on the ground. All right, so let's get working on that chest. I'm going to give it, it's going to be wood with kind of gold or bronze type of metal on it. I don't want it like a super shiny gold. I'm going to kind of save that for the little coins. So let's jump in with a Y11 and just start getting a base coat down anywhere where I want it to be metal on this chest. And I'm going to do the rim of the lid as well, and that little lock. Okay. And now I am going to come in with some, I think some YG91. I just want to give this a bit of a patina so that it looks kind of old and varnished and worn in. So this putty color is going to go a long way towards helping us make our treasure chest look pretty ancient. Okay. I'm going to come in with some Y21 now. Right over top the YG91. So that 91 basically just kind of gives us a nice kind of grayish shadow or shading on our kind of mottled brassy gold that we're going for. Y26, we're going to keep deepening our colors. And bring in some 28. I don't know if it's going to be strong enough contrast for what I want on its own, but we'll bring it in. Let's see. I think I'm going to bring in some E87. I just want something a little bit stronger. And with the both that Y28 and the YG91, we've kind of leaned, they both, you know, kind of tend to play well with the greens. So does the E80 family, and that's why I chose it for an earth tone to help bump up our contrast in this. And already we can start seeing that lighter parts of our kind of brassy old gold metal, it lightens up. And that's what I'm always saying, your darks make your lights look lighter. So that's why you don't want to shy away from the contrast, because that's what's going to elevate it and not have it look flat, even though when you're trying to create something that's kind of on the lighter side or has a lot of shine to it, it's those darker accents that you throw in that are really going to brighten up the rest of whatever the object is that you're coloring. So I'm going to bring my Y26 back in to pull out that E87. The Y21. And that Y11. And you can see I'm leaving little hints along that top edge of the lid. I haven't colored it in completely. There's like little, just tiny little wells of white space of that white cardstock. And that's, I like to do that especially on metal, because it's going to give us that strongest contrast between our lights and darks. So we'll have a really light, almost white, or well white, yeah, because that's our cardstock base, versus our dark E87. And that's going to make it look shiny, even though we're going for more of a patinaed look. But it's still going to make it, help it make it look like metal. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do the little golds, since we've got our colors for it all out here. This we're going to make a shinier, newer looking gold. So I've got a Y02. YR23. And a little bit of E47. Quick swipe of the YR23 over the E47. Y02, and again leaving a little flash of white for high shine. There we go. Easy peasy. Got like a little emerald here. Since I've got my greens out, I might as well put some color on it. Again, leaving a little bit of white on that side. Our light's coming in from the right hand side. We established that with our dragon last week. A little bit of, let's go G17. And then G29. There we go. And we got a little diamond there. Maybe I'll come in with a BG23. We'll just do a little. And kind of leave that some white so it's kind of clear looking. I got a little pearl right there. Let's do maybe a little bit of B60. And that E81 again. There we go. And I just feel like I want a little bit of, maybe a little B63. Just a very tiny little half circle right there. Okay, so now we can get onto the wood in our treasure chest. And I think I'll start with some E43. And again, I went with E40s. They have a lot of gray tone to them since we've kind of got the patina on our gold. Our wood is going to want to be a little bit weathered and old looking as well, just so everything jives together. So we want our wood to look just as old as the gold on the chest here, or the bronze, whatever metal that is they use to put this together. Okay, I'm gonna jump up to E49. And we are going to put in little slats between the pieces of the wood that make this up. And I'm not using a ruler or anything. I'm just kind of eyeballing it in, and I don't even, you know, they're just kind of loose and sketchy. And do one up here as well. I'm also going to use the E49 to do a little drop shadow under the raised metal parts of our box here. That lock is going to cast a little bit of shadow. I'm going to reinforce the turn there and there. Okay. Now E47. On either side of those lines that I just put in. Just pulling out the E49. Be pretty generous, especially on the front here, because it's facing away from our light source, so our wood can be a little bit darker on the front of our treasure chest here. Pull that out with the E44. And I'm going to fill the whole front in with the E44. And then on that back side, one more pass with the E43. Okay. And I think I'm going to come back in with the 47. And just very lightly with the tip of that nib, I'm just going to loosely sketch in some little wood grain lines. Just for a little texture. Just let that skip and bounce as you pull it across the paper. You don't need complete lines. There we go. And there we've got some old looking wood. I really want this to darken, so I'm going to go ahead with the 47. There we go. Now that block really looks like it's got some dimension to it. All right. So there we've got our little treasure chest. Little bits of treasure that have spilled out for our dragon to guard. Bring it up nice and close here. There we go. All right, and that wraps up this week's installment. Join me next week. We will start to put in the background, and I've got a fun little kind of sneak peek of the upcoming clear release that will be part of that, so you'll want to stay tuned. And until then, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.